This is an exciting one. This is a big one. All right. Hello, everybody. This weekend, families all across Ontario are doing their weekly grocery shop, and they're facing some tough choices, like deciding whether they can afford their kids' favorite snack or if they're going to have to put it back on the shelf, like if they can get fresh fruits or vegetables or not, or if they should skip beef or chicken this week because of how expensive they've become. No matter where you shop in Ontario, your dollar just doesn't stretch as far. After 7 years of Doug Ford, the average grocery bill has gone up by $100 every month. Every month. What has he done to help you? As Premier, I'm going to deliver immediate relief for families all across Ontario with a new monthly grocery rebate that puts money in your pocket and puts food on the table. Our rebate is going to give lower and middle income families extra help every month to pay for groceries and to make ends meet. So a family of 4 could get up to about $122 back every month, and that's over $1,400 per year. At a time when people are really feeling anxious about their budgets, our monthly grocery rebate is going to help 3.7 million households. Now, what I hear from people as I'm crisscrossing Ontario is that everybody is fed up with paying too much for basics like bread and rice and vegetables. The rebate amount is based on how much the cost of essential groceries have increased under Ford. 7 years of Doug Ford have cost you. We're giving you some of that money back to help you afford food. We're also going to make sure that big grocery stores are transparent and accountable to you. We'll make big grocery chains label when there are significant price increases on essential things, just like when they do that when something goes on sale. And that includes if the size of the packaging changes. That's to fight what we call shrinkflation. So you know exactly how much more they're charging you when you make a purchase. We're also going to put an end to the price-fixing schemes that have exploited people's basic need for food. We're going to crack down on price fixing and all those other unfair business practices that are put in place by big retailers, and we'll do it by establishing a new watchdog to keep food prices fair. My plan will give people some relief at the grocery store and bring more fairness for consumers. It's part of the Ontario NDP's plan to make life in Ontario more affordable. After 7 years of Doug Ford, life in our province is more expensive than ever. But we can change that. My promise to you is cash back in your pockets every month to buy groceries. It's that simple. I'm on your side. And I am so proud to stand here with Robert McBride, the manager of the Downsview Food Market, where we're located today, as well as our amazing candidates, MPP Tom Rakocevic from Humber River Black Creek, Thadcha Nabanethan from Scarborough North, and Faisal Hassan, who's running in York Southweston. We are on your side. Right. Yeah, the question was, what will we do about those big grocery monopolies who've been price fixing? And we've seen that, in the pandemic and other times. Look, that's why we're putting in place a consumer watchdog, to make sure we crack down on that kind of thing. And the other thing we're going to do, so on price fixing or any of those other ways that they manipulate that, but the other thing that I think is really important for people to understand is, just like when you go to the grocery store and they advertise the items that are going to be on sale, if they put the prices up on things, they're going to have to explain why.
Not this time. No, not this time.
They have to put up a notice explaining that on things that are essentials and essential grocery items. And that's another way to make sure that there's transparency and accountability from our big grocery chains. So What I know is that Doug Ford called this election, and when he called this election, he quit his job as premier, and he made that decision so that he could try to pull one over on the people of Ontario. When he had a chance to go to those big meetings yesterday with everybody from industry and all the other governments, he chose not to. Instead, he chose to go out there and make an announcement again about his tunnel to nowhere. So that tells you everything you need to know about Doug Ford and his priorities. I got to say, I thought his comments yesterday as well. I think Doug Ford forgot to read his own hat. You know, Ontario is not for sale, and it is certainly not for sale to Donald Trump. I mean, in a sense, I think, you know, there are certain traditions as well, and yes, absolutely, you know, government goes into caretaker mode. I know that, you know, I could get into the details with you later, but I do know that, you know, look, if he says he's still going to be fighting for Ontario, but he doesn't show up at one of the biggest meetings about where we're going to, what our plan is going to be up against Donald Trump, then he's not representing the best interests of Ontario. He told us everything about who he is when he called this election on day one. He is not fighting for the jobs of Ontarians. He is fighting for only one job, and that is his own. He's let people down over and over again. And after 7 long years, Ontarians are bearing the cost of this. So I see this as an opportunity. You know what? When they called this election, I thought, this guy, he thinks he could pull one over on the people of Ontario and get another 4 years out of this? Well, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to actually address some of the big issues that people are facing right now. And that's why we're here today, because we are going to bring the cost of groceries down for people. We're going to give them some relief, some money back in their pockets, and we're going to stop those big grocery retailers from hiking prices. We're going to try to make life more affordable for people right now. I mean, that's something we can do today, and that's what we could do if I'm premier, and that's why I am running to be the premier of this province.
Hi, good morning. Maybe you're sending this out in the news release or something, but are there any details on how much this will cost, what the income threshold will be, or how it will be delivered?
Yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'll tell you that this program will help 4 million households. Our monthly grocery rebate is going to help 3.7 million households in Ontario. It's going to put $4 billion back in Ontarians' pockets. And I want to just give you something to relate that to. Doug Ford spent $3 billion to give people, and including people like Galen Weston, by the way, a one-time check. So this program is going to help a lot more people over a longer period of time. And it will be focused on lower and middle income people.
And on another issue, we've talked to some Ontarians out there who support Premier Doug Ford, but don't like Trump for sort of moral reasons.
Yeah.
What is your message to those voters?
Well, I think Doug Ford always, you know, he's shown you who he is, right? He's shown you who he is every time, over and over again. He shows you who he is. He says one thing at a microphone and another thing behind closed doors. That's who he is. He's a fan of Donald Trump. He was a fan of Donald Trump when Donald Trump was threatening Canada during the election. So what changed? I don't think people can trust Doug. I don't think they can trust Ford to stand up for them. I don't think they can trust Ford to stand up to Donald Trump. I worry about what he's going to be willing to give up to make Trump happy. And I think Ontarians actually need somebody who's ready to fight for them, for every single voter, for every single resident, for every single job. And that's what I'm going to do as Premier of the province of Ontario with these good people, forming a government that's on your side.
Thank you. Next we have Emily. Emily, go ahead.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Maureen. Just for clarity, you said in your initial statement that this would help 3.7 million households,
Yeah.
and then in your answer to Jessica, you just said that it would be helping 4 million households. So just can you specify the number, please?
Yeah, it's up to about 4 million. That's our estimate. Is it'll be 3.7 to 4 million based on the number of people that we know are captured currently in the income levels that we're looking at, which would be lower and middle income people.
Thank you. And when can we expect the exact details of this measure and other promises that you've made that we haven't seen?
You'll be getting a lot. Yeah, you'll be getting lots more details of this plan today. We've got a whole bunch of details to share with you, and I think that'll answer a lot of those questions. But I'll tell you, it's a real opportunity here. You know, this is, I think, one of the most important announcements that we're going to make in this election. I mean, this is an announcement and a promise, a commitment to Ontarians that we're really going to help them.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
At a very difficult time. A lot of people need this right now. I think grocery prices is one of the #1 issues that people raise with us on the doorstep and every day. And this is going to help people every month. Not just one time, 1 year before an election like Doug Ford just did. And it's also going to help those people who need it the most.